Hello, I'm Steve Marcus here, and this has nothing to do with any of my professional job. I was having a class this morning with a girl who lives in Netanya, Israel. She's preparing that exam to go to an American college, and I asked her, "Your country's at war right now, and what is your country's greatest weapon in this war? Or in general, what is the greatest weapon they have? Maybe a nuke, maybe atomic, maybe biological, chemical, the sniper, the tanks, I don't know." And she said simply, "We are not afraid to die." That's what she said. In addition to 7 years of building up the Israeli military and the stockpile and the arsenal, they've been training Israelis to not be afraid to die in order to help other people. They always have this scenario in the army there that there were 100 Jews and 5 Nazis with guns, and the 100 were like sheep. They refused to do anything. But if 20 of those Jews had attacked those 5, maybe all 20 of them would have died. The other 80 would have lived. Now, the Hitler would have sent in more army to kill all those 80. But if Hitler knew that these Jews just don't give a damn, they're just not afraid to die, they're not going to stand there and let you shoot them. They're going to go for you. And he might have said, well, fuck it. We're not going to deal with them anymore. Because you only want to enslave people who you know are afraid and they're not going to put up a rebellion. Because if they put up a rebellion, you try to kill a sample of them to put fear in the other. Kill half to put fear in the other half. But if you can't do that, they're useless to you as slaves. And that's what she said Israel's got. Israel could easily be defeated in a war by Russia, by China, by the United States, by France, maybe by Germany. But here's the key. Those countries, although they could win, would pay a price. Not just the poor people would die and the poor people would pay, but even the rich people in those countries would suffer. Maybe they'd lose their quality of life, blackouts. They would lose their food. Maybe they would have security guards. Maybe poor people would buy guns and try to rob their food. Even the security guards wouldn't protect them. And when the upper strata of a country feels that if we go to war, although we could win, I'm going to pay a price. Not me, only me, but my kids and my grandchildren, they don't go to war. And that's the key. So you got this little country that's more or less able to do whatever it wants because it has the super weapon that no one else has, which is they're just not afraid to die. I mean, I'm sure if the USA went to war against them, they'd win, but probably using the high tech that those guys got, they would bomb maybe, I don't know, Idaho, Wisconsin. They'd penetrate Manhattan. They'd get into the heartland with biological, chemical, and nuclear weapons. It would cost. And it wouldn't just be poor people dying and poor people paying with taxes, but it would trickle up. You'd have rich people who maybe have to give up their homes and live in a tent. They'd lose their lifestyle. The kids would lose the benefits they have. It would disrupt things, but not just disruption for a few months or a few years, like the COVID-19 stay home for a year. But I mean, it would really lower their quality of life for generations, and they're not willing to do it. So although they could win the war, they won't go to war. And that gives Israel this superpower that no one else has. They're not afraid to die.